Hey guys, Matt with Mancor here, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over my latest install, and that is going to be for the KR Sabers Krossguard. Like I said, this saber has been done by KR Sabers and one replica, and is one of, if not my most favorite crossguard hilt on the market today. The hilt itself, you'll see here, it's just absolutely stunning. In the kit itself, I've also got two of the side blades. Both of these were done by the Proplicator on Etsy. In the kit, we also have some extra red wire, the blue wire, and some Allen keys. Okay, kind of going over the prop itself. This blade I had weathered actually by Corbanth. So even though this is a KR Sabers and one replica's hilt, I bought this through Corbanth and had my weathering service done by them. I went for the Force Awakens weathering service, which gives it a little bit more of a used feel. You can see it's got some of the scratches on the heavily used areas as opposed to the clean kind of newer look. That also included a little bit of weathering on the engine. So you can see up here on the top engine, got some really cool grime and dirt, as well as some weathering on the belt clip and some weathering on the lower engine. It's light weathering on the pommel cap. But by and far, my favorite piece of this weathering job had to do with the side emitters here. In a lot of other kits out on the market, this heat staining that you can see here is usually done with paint. But on this kit itself, these side emitters are actually steel. And so Randy or whoever does it over at Corbanth actually heat treated these. So you've got genuine heat stain on here. You can see kind of that blue to gold to kind of brass staining that goes on there. So the kit itself is fairly easy to access. You just kind of pull out this little red wire here and slide it through, twist, and slide off. Now, this chassis I actually purchased from Saber Bay. Really happy with it. It is a very snug fit. So when pulling it off and putting it back on, you do want to be careful that you're not tugging too fast so that it doesn't get hung up on the battery or on the other side on the CFX board. In this chassis itself, we've got the removable battery set up with the kill key / recharge port. So you are able to keep the battery in, I guess, permanently and just charge it through there, or the option of being able to pull this battery out and stick it into a charger. We got our kill key recharge port. And on the back, access to the CFX board. The SD card slides really nice in and out of there. If you want to access it, add fonts, change fonts, add profiles, blade profiles, colors, things like that. Fairly easy to access. And then you can see some of our wires running down through there. All right, we'll go ahead and pull out the kill key here. And you get that little notification that the board is on. Swap in and out of there really quickly. When putting the sleeve back on, you want to see that these wire holders are slightly below this top wire holder. That way this locking mechanism will slide in all the way. You can see, and then turn. Clicks in place. We'll slide our red wire back up, and it just sits nicely down in the engine. Perfect. We'll go ahead and pull out one of our Allen keys. In this kit, I'll include 2 Allen keys. One Allen key, the smaller one, is going to be for all of the PCB holders and blade retention screws. And then the larger one is going to be for connecting the top and lower piece of the hilt. After it's locked in, there is a screw here on the back. I won't tighten that all the way just because we'll be pulling it back out here in a second, but that's tight enough, and you can see no more wobble. And 2 buttons. We have our ignition and basically your ignition button and our auxiliary button up top. So while the Saber's off, hold down the ignition button, and you'll see it turn on. Now in this build, I installed the stock LED PCB pads, so you do get some lighting effects even when there are no blades attached. You can hear the smooth swing. It's a pretty cool feature. And off. Now the side blades slide in here. Now for this demo, I won't be tightening them down. They actually fit really nice without tightening the retention screw, which is actually pretty nice. So if you're just trying to do a quick demo like this, you can actually slide them in, flail them around, and they won't slide out. But if you're going to be, kind of doing a little bit more heavy swinging, light dueling, you'll notice here on the emitter, 2 retention screws. This first retention screw is what holds the PCB board in place. So typically you're not going to want to mess with that one unless you're going to be taking that out, but don't touch that one. This one right here is what you would twist to secure and lock the blade in place. We'll do a quick demo with the blades in. Got really nice glow. I used the thin neopixels in here so that they fit. This is a really tight fit. When I was using my thicker strips, they weren't fitting all the way, and I was getting a lot more darkening on the end up here, so I used a little bit of a thinner neopixel strip and was able to get really nice lighting basically all the way to the end. Super happy with how that turned out. Okay, and then we've got our neopixel blade itself. I did a 36-inch blade for this build. I felt like Kylo Ren's sword needed slightly, kind of feels like a little bit like a great sword, so I wanted it to have just a little bit of a kind of a larger feel to it. And we should get off this green blade that's doing Kylo's blade a lot of injustice. Sound bank selection. So you hold down your aux button here to cycle through all the sound fonts on here. That was the Rogue. SD system exit menu. So here's some of my dark side fonts, pitch black. But we'll go ahead and go to Unhinged, which is the Kylo Ren font. Hold it down to select it, you'll get that sound notification, and then ignite the blade. So if you saw that, it's got a really cool ignition. I'll do that in here. If you pay attention to right here, you'll see the kind of it glow as it hits up. Slightly delayed, side quillions, like the movie. And yeah, I'm not entirely sure if you can see it on film, but there is a really cool unstable blade effect. You can definitely see it on these side quillions here. Switch hands here. Let's get some sound. And I'll cut to a different camera angle here at the end to showcase a little bit more of the fonts. But you can hear the 28mm speaker in there. This thing is very loud, which is really cool. Some cool effects. We got blaster deflect. And we've got a flash. So there you have it. That's the Kylo Ren Krossguard by KR Sabers 1 replica. Super happy with how this thing turned out. I'll switch to a different camera angle to kind of cycle through some of the other fonts that comes with this one. But overall, just had a blast with this build and just super happy with how it turned out. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below if you have any questions, and we'll see you guys at the next build. Later.